Hi everyone, and welcome to the Yes Prep Virtual College Fair. I want to thank you so much for joining us today. So I'm going to give our participants a few minutes to just stroll in, and in that time I'm going to go through a couple housekeeping announcements before we get started. So as participants, you can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. With that in mind, the Q&A feature is the way to get your questions asked and answered. This is just one of many sessions happening. There's another one after this, so please be sure to sign up for additional sessions on the website that you registered for this one. And this presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website where you registered. So I see we have a few participants here, actually a good number, and I am going to now turn off my screen and introduce our first presenters from Texas A&M University, Aggie Achieve.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Hester. I'm from the Aggie Achieve program at Texas A&M. I'm going to share my screen. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're really excited about this. So Aggie Achieve is at Texas A&M University. We just started this program this past fall, so August of 2019. And it is a program for students with intellectual and developmental disabilities to access college, to access post-secondary education, to live on campus here at in College Station, and to have the full college experience. We are a comprehensive transition program, meaning that we do receive federal aid, so our students can apply for financial aid. And our real mission of starting this was so that students can have that immersive and inclusive environment here at Texas A&M, where they're enrolled in courses. They work on their employment skills throughout our program. It is a 4-year program, and so we just have our second year students now who are sophomores. We have 12 students total. So we have 5 sophomores and 7 freshmen. In that picture, that's our original 5. And again, they live here in dorms on campus. They're enrolled in Texas A&M courses alongside their peers without disabilities. And so how we do those courses is that students are able to choose those based on the courses we have available and that the university is offering. Those courses are taken for 0 credit, and that is because we provide a lot of modified assignments. So for example, students have to do the same assignments as everyone else in the course. They just show they're learning differently. So, if they have to write a 5-page paper, they are instead submitting a PowerPoint to show what they learned. And so we work really closely with professors, and our students get to know their professors really well. And so that's how they're accessing these college courses. We also, our students have access to all kinds of different services on campus that other Texas A&M students have access to, such as the rec center, health services. They attend football games. We have students who are gearing up for the football game this weekend in town. And so, that is part of, we want them to have that full integrated college life. And they also can join different student organizations. If you are familiar with Texas A&M, there are over 1,000 different student organizations that they can join. So there's literally something for everyone. And when they attend Aggie Achieve, they are working towards a certificate in interdisciplinary studies from Texas A&M. So this is from the university. This is not from our program. It is not from a center here on campus. It is from Texas A&M University. We are not a degree-seeking program. We are a certificate, and that is because we are providing a lot of modifications and accommodations. Also, an important thing to note is that these courses that they're taking are, they cannot be transferred. So that is an important thing to note, that if you come to Aggie Achieve, you can't transfer these classes to another institution. But we are highly individualized. We use person-centered planning. And so that is where it is student-driven as far as their program of study. We have person-centered planning meetings at least once or twice a semester where the student invites their family to come along and anyone they want who feel like supports them. and we develop their plan as far as what they're working on for the next semester, their goals, what classes they want to take. And then again, we really provide a lot of accommodations and modifications. We also help students with their assignments as far as, helping them come up with their schedules and what's due this week, and how to email their professor if they have a question, things of that nature. Another huge aspect of our program is employment. And so we certainly want students to graduate from Aggie Achieve being competitively employed in a position that they are passionate about, in a career. And so we are very focused on not only the college experience, but also preparing them for that. And so starting the spring of their first year, they start taking internship credits. And those are registered classes at A&M that they are taking an internship credit for. And so the first 2 years, they're on campus taking those internship hours in an office or a department or a business here on campus. And then the last 2 years, they can venture off campus into more specialized fields. The fourth year is critical for us. That is where we are really working with the student on finding that long-term employment position, whether that's here in College Station. We have some students who they love College Station, they never want to leave, which is great. We have other students who want to return home or be close to their family. So helping them find that position wherever that might be. Now, most of our students receive support from Aggie Achieve Mates. This is our student-run organization here on campus. And right now we have over 150 undergraduates and graduate students from across disciplines who just want to be friends with our students, who just want to support them across settings. And so this has been a huge aspect of our program. You can see that picture at the bottom left. That was taken last year, but every student has what we call a circle of support. And so each student has a different friend group, if you will, that's made up of academic partners and lunch buddies and daily planners, things of that nature. Now I know this is really quick because we only have 7 minutes each. So if you have questions, please, please, please message me on here. I'll be staying the whole time. But also you can email us at aggieachieve@tamu.edu. And you can also go to our website. That's where I would start first before emailing us. Our website does have a lot of information on it. Sign up for our newsletter when you're on there. In addition, we are taking applications now, and those are due December 1st by 11:59 p.m. And so get those applications in. You can find them on our website. Thanks so much.
Great, thank you so much. Let me share my screen here. We did have our representative from Lone Star College lifePATH program show up, so I am going to turn off my screen and let Lone Star College share theirs.
Hello, guys, and welcome. I'm glad to be here. I apologize. My computer's had a little bit of a crash, and so I'm actually just rebooting my PowerPoint, but it'll be fine. I'm Dr. Ann Jeanette from Lone Star College in Tomball. I'm part of the lifePATH. I'm the director for the lifePATH program. And Lone Star College is a large college system that has a lot of campuses around the Houston area, mostly in the North Houston area. And lifePATH is only at 2 of our campuses. We're at the, apologize here, I'm just gonna get it going. We are at the Tomball campus where I am, and also at the Montgomery campus, which is in the Woodlands, for those of you familiar with that area. So a lot of people ask, what is lifePATH? And lifePATH is a program designed for students who have disabilities that impact executive functioning. And that really means that the students have challenges in areas that are pretty common for a lot of us anyway, whether or not we have a disability. Things like managing our time and being organized and advocating for our needs, which means asking for help. Also, students might have trouble with emotional regulation, kind of handling their anxiety is what we see a lot of times. Usually when it's at college level, most of our students are handling anger and that sort of thing well, but maybe anxiety is still giving them some trouble. Critical thinking skills, like maybe taking ideas from different subjects and putting them together and problem solving. Social functioning may be a challenge. Communication can be a challenge. All of our students are different, and some of our students come to us with strengths in these areas, and others, it's strengths in some areas and then challenges in some of these areas as well. Nobody has troubles, it seems like, in all of the areas, but thank goodness we all come with strengths and challenges, and we're here. lifePATH helps students identify their challenges, identify their strengths, and then improve their challenges so that they can eventually become strengths for the student. With that said, we work on social expectations. And so what you might have called when you were young is, you might have been in social skills classes. Well, we identified the social skills necessary for the adult world from a number of different sources and have defined them as social expectations, because it's really what is expected of you in the adult world, whether that be your college classroom or being a neighbor or the workforce. There are certain things that are expected, and so we call them social expectations. And you can kind of see, if you can see the titles of how we have categorized those social expectations, that they're really similar to a lot of the areas that are challenges for students who have disabilities in executive functioning. So a lot of times, let me back up for a moment and clarify. A lot of times people go, so what does that mean, a disability in executive functioning? That can be, frequently people think of autism. Sometimes we get called an autism program. We're really not a program for autism, but that is frequently what's associated. And a lot of our students do have autism. Some of our students have ADHD. Some of our students have some other health issues that have caused maybe seizures, and so they are having some trouble with those executive functioning skills as well. So we are not a program for autism specifically. We are a program that can assist students who are really working to refine these skills and become better students and become better at getting and keeping jobs. Our program is structured in really a four-year program, much like A&M's. We have a four-year program as well. We are a credited program, so students earn college credit toward their newly created degree. The Texas legislature last session created a degree called Occupational and Life Skills. It's a brand new associate's degree. And it's actually the first time a new degree has been created in Texas since the Associate of Applied Teaching, Associate of Arts in Teaching. And so that was really exciting for us. So students do earn college credit for all of their classes. All students start out here on the foundational path, their first couple of years. We get to know students well, and we help them learn how to navigate the college world, very similar to what A&M is doing, in fact. Really teaching them how to be a college student in the college environment. And they take a lot of great classes during those first 2 years. And then after 2 years, they have choices. And I'm going to come back to this slide here in just a minute and tell you about those choices for the second 2 years. So the first year classes, if you see here, there's classes in a lot of communication and awareness, interpersonal relationships type of classes. We know that those are the things students are working on. We also have a lot of classes that are geared toward working in teams and working in a career. We begin to help students define what they are looking for in a career, what suits their personality. We do a lot of inventories that have to do with personality and career during this time. And students work on their academic skills as well. Our 4 areas are really, we work on academic readiness, workforce readiness, interpersonal relationships, how we relate to other people, and intrapersonal, how we relate to ourselves and our self-awareness. side of us. So all of these classes here in the first 2 years focus heavily on that. Come back to this slide. So after the first 2 years, we do have some students that kind of take off. If you look on this red path, they say, hey, I've learned what I needed to learn. And they move on and take Lone Star classes in the traditional format with traditional instructors. And some of them do really well. We had our first student transfer to University of North Texas. He has graduated and has done beautifully. We had another one that just graduated and then has graduated from Lone Star and has transferred to Texas Tech. So we are excited about the work that those students did. Some of our students graduate and they go here on this green path, which is called an academic path. They also join traditional college credit degree and college degrees, like associative science, associative arts, and they plan on transferring to a 4-year school. But they do so with support from lifePATH called Wraparound Support. And if you come visit us at an info session at a later date, I'll tell you all about that. Most of our students, about 75% of our students, stay on what's called the OLSA path, and they finish years 3 and 4 working on the OLSA, Occupational and Life Skills Associate's degree.
Sorry, Dr. Ann, we just need to move on to the next program to make sure everyone's getting the same amount of time.
That's fine. That's good. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All righty. So thank you for your presentation. And we're now going to move on to HCC VAST Academy.
Okay, okay, can you see me? So let me try to share my screen. Okay. Now, I hope you can see my screen, and I'm going to put it in PowerPoint mode. Perfect.
Great.
All right, so welcome students and parents and everyone here. Thank you for joining us today. I am Anna Calvo. I'm Director of Transition Services for VAST Academy. Like University of Texas A&M and Lone Star College, we are a program for students with intellectual and learning disabilities in the Houston area. We serve students, we call them of unique abilities, and we accept them between the ability level between 2.5 and 8th grade level. Now, if you are a little higher in academic level, we do accept you because we understand that some of our students need our program for more of the reasons of knowing how to accommodate and get used to college life and knowing how to manage what it means to be in college and classes and stuff like that, because it can be very overwhelming to enter a college class, an atypical college class, you know, with 100 students. So we try to help you navigate that and help you with some of the behavioral adjustments and things like that. So it takes a village to run our team. This is part of our village. We have Sue Maraska, who is the director of VAST Academy, and she began this program 30-something years ago. We currently have a vacant spot for Spring Branch program director. We have a program director for the Missouri City Stafford campus, who is Ms. Francine Milton Bryant, and Ms. Barbara Fields is our director of admissions. You're meeting myself. And we work very closely with Ms. Sandra Pierce, who is our employment director. The rest are our support staff and our faculty. And I'm going really quick so that we can get through all of this. We do offer a certificate of occupational skills when our students graduate from our program. It is a 2-year program. Here it says 2 to 3 years. 3 years of students are doing this part-time, okay, if they're only taking 2 classes at a time. But if you are taking your classes full-time, it's a 2-year program. Students' requirements, if you choose to come to VAST Academy, this is what we require. You be between the ages of 18 and 25. Be able to function independently in the classroom. We don't have one-on-one assistance like some of you may be used to in high school, that you had a teacher assistant or a para in the classroom. We do have student workers and student assistants in the class, but they're there to help the whole class and not just one individual. The lowest level reading level is a 2.5. And the steps to apply: you must apply to the hccs.edu website under continuing ed. We're a continuing ed program, and receive a student ID and apply for admissions. Complete the VAST Academy admissions forms. We do have a formalized admissions, and so we have our own application too that we email you once you contact us, and it asks for documentation on your FIEs, your ARDs, because we want to know some of the accommodations you were receiving when you were in high school. And then you schedule an intake interview with the different program directors at each campus. Our campus, again, is at 3 locations: Central, Spring Branch, and Stafford. All students must take a TAB test before being accepted, because we want to know where you are. Aside from all the evaluations you had in high school, some of those may be outdated. So we do ask for you to take a TAB that we give you on campus. Because of the pandemic right now, we are waiving that until we are able to get on campus. But once we are able to return to campus, we will continue the TAB requirement. And then once you are accepted, you're asked to attend a mandatory orientation. We do have student life. All of our students are part of our Eagles Club. Our Eagles Club is a student club from HCC VAST, and they do service projects, end of the year celebrations. We also have a unified sports program at our campus that Eagles Club is a very big part of. We do Valentine, Christmas, all types of celebration that our Eagles Clubs put together with all of our other campus management club organizations. And it's pretty big. We have received recognition for Eagles Club for the past 3 years. And so people look forward to our celebrations. We do offer scholarship assistance to our students once they have been part of VAST Academy at least one semester. These are the requirements to receive your scholarship assistance. And so you must be enrolled in HCC, at least have a 2.0 grade average, US citizen. And it says a 2-page essay. We are a little lenient with that. If a student submits a statement, a video statement, or a PowerPoint, we accept that. 2 letters of recommendation, and those come from teachers. Job readiness. So as most of these programs who exist around the nation, we want our students to be part of this program because we want them, when they're finished, to have the ability to be competitively employed. And so we do offer an internship at the end of our 2 years to our students. They must be able to qualify for the internship, and some of those qualifications are: we must see that students have been actively engaged in the classes and have at least a 2.0 GPA in their classes to be able to be qualified for an internship. Here are some of the locations where our students have been doing their internships and been successfully employed. MD Anderson has successfully employed. I think now we have about 10 students who have been through MD Anderson and working there. We have one of our former graduates working at our Spring Branch Branch campus as one of our administrative assistants, and then Hilton of America. Our students are very involved in student government and student leadership and advocacy, and so we encourage that. And so whenever they get a chance to present at different conferences or different events, we encourage that. They have also been part of some of the advocacy in Austin and for students with intellectual and learning disabilities. So here are a collage of the pictures where they're getting involved.
All right, so we just need to wrap this one up. So if you have a quick slide with contact info.
Our student awards, our commencement. This is our central campus contact information. You can contact myself or Ms. Maraska. That's our information. Our Spring Branch campus and our Stafford campus.
Great. Thank you so much.
And let me stop sharing my screen. Okay.
All righty. So participants, I want to thank you for joining us today. If you do have any questions, now is the time to put them in the Q&A feature. And because we do have a few minutes left, our panelists can feel free to answer those questions out loud as long as they keep it short, so they're not getting too much extra time. But if you don't have any questions, feel free to close out of here. There will be a quick 4-question survey after you exit out or close the window. We would really appreciate if you took the time to answer that, as we are always looking to make improvements on our programs. There is another session after this today, so if you wanted to sign up for that, feel free. And just a reminder that the recording of this will be available in about a week. So if you missed any information, you can get that information in about a week, or hopefully less than a week, on the website that you registered for this for. So I'm gonna mute myself and turn my cam off, and I see some questions in the Q&A feature. So if our reps want to answer them in there, feel free. Or if there's kind of general questions where everyone can answer, feel free to just unmute yourself and you can answer them out loud. I just ask that you keep it quick so everyone gets a fair share. Thank you.
I think the best college is the one that meets your needs. So we probably want to explore all those programs.
I think the question in there currently, if maybe all reps want to just pop on and just talk about student experience or anything, or have an appropriate answer, you can just speak it out loud since we have, some time left.
I think that if college is easy or hard sometimes, it depends on classes. Some classes may seem easy to you depending on what your strengths are, and some classes may seem difficult for you. So it all depends on the student, but most colleges have tutoring available and assistance if you're having some difficulty in a class.
Lone Star College or Texas A&M, do you guys want to answer that out loud? If not,
Sure. Well, I agree. College can be hard, but it can also be really fun. And I also think that it's a big transition, especially when you first start going to college, whether you're living at home or living on campus. That's a big transition for you and for your family. But once you get into, a routine and a schedule, then the important thing is asking for help when you need it. But it can be hard for anybody when you first start. So one of the questions was, do we have to take, I believe you meant SAT. We don't require the SAT or any entry exam.
VAST doesn't require an SAT either. We just require the TABE.
Alrighty, we still have a few more minutes for questions. So if you have any, again, feel free to put them up in the Q&A chat. If not, you're more than welcome to close out of here. And again, there will be a 4-question survey. It's quick, should take about 15 seconds. If you wouldn't mind filling that out for us, we'd really appreciate your feedback. Thank you.
We do not require any entry exam test. That was one of the questions in the chat. I'll also say that a great resource for families and for young adults with disabilities is thinkcollege.net. If you go on there, you can look at all the different programs in the state and go to our websites and things like that from thinkcollege.net.
Hi there. The recording will be available in about a week, hopefully less than a week, but in about a week's time, it will be on the website where you registered, and your school, Yes Prep, should also have some links so you can always be in touch with them. The survey will be available when you exit out of the meeting. So if you hit leave in the bottom right corner and then end, it should pop up, or after you do that, if you hit the X in the top right corner, it'll pop up there. But I think it's once you hit leave to leave the meeting, it'll pop up there. All righty, we still have about 5-10 minutes for questions, so Q&A features there. If not, feel free to head out, and thank you for joining us. All right, we have about 5 minutes left. So any last minute questions, feel free to put them in the Q&A now. And I will be ending the session in about 5 minutes. If you guys don't have any questions, thank you for joining us, and you're more than welcome to leave now. And just again, if you want to fill out that survey, we'd really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Alrighty, everyone. Looks like there's a few questions, so I'm just going to go ahead and end the session now. Again, the recordings will be available in a week, and I want to thank you, participants, as well as our panelists, for joining us today. We really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day.